Good everyone, my name is Mr. Urimaladi. People call me Mr. Matt. All right, what I have for you today is on angle of elevation. Angle of elevation. The angle of elevation is the angle, that is this angle, which an eye makes with the horizontal line. For example, assuming a man is standing here and the man turns his eyes up to look at the top of a tree here with this horizontal line, which means the man has formed an angle here with this horizontal line. So this angle is what we call angle of elevation. The angle which the man's eyes makes with this horizontal line is called angle of elevation. All right, let's look at a few examples under this. And don't forget, this angle of elevation, we can use trigonometry ratio, all right, to solve questions under angle of elevation. Let's look at a few examples under this. All right, let's look at the question on the board. The question says the angle of elevation of the top T of a vertical pole from a point P on a level ground is 60 degrees. All right, talking about the pole here, the first thing we need to do, we need to interpret this question in form of a diagram. It is very, very important. Now look at this, a vertical pole. Look at it, there is a pole, a vertical pole of the top T. The top T, let's do the top T of a vertical pole from a point P. At least let's look at this. Let's take this as our point P on a level ground, talking about angle of elevation here, on a level ground of 60 degrees. Let's say this is our ground. We can represent this as our ground. Let's say the foot F. All right. If the height of the pole, let's say this is the height of the pole, is 95.26 meter. 95.62 meter. Find the distance from P to the foot of the pole. From here, we are asked to look for this side. All right, let's call this X. And don't forget, this is a right angle triangle. Now, at this stage, we've already drawn our what? We've already interpreted the question in the form of diagram. Now, this is a right angle triangle. We are asked to find the distance from P to F. Now, don't forget, the longest side is our hypotenuse. While the side facing the angle is our what? Is our opposite. These are opposite. And the third side is our adjacent. All right. Now, at this stage, we can apply the trigonometric what? Ratio. Now, don't forget trigonometric ratio using SOHCAHTOA. Now, look at the diagram. All right. The opposite side has been given, and we are looking for what? The adjacent. So, which of the three are we going to use? We have the opposite as O. We're looking for the adjacent. Therefore, we'll consider the tangent. So, don't forget, tan theta representing our angle equals opposite over adjacent. All right, opposite over adjacent. Now, what is the value of our angle? We have tan 60 degrees equals to opposite is what? 95.26 meter divided by adjacent. What is our adjacent? We have it as X. So at this stage, the next thing to do is to cross multiply. All right. So therefore, we have X tan 60 degrees equals to 95.26 meter. Now, let's use our calculator. What's the value of tan 60? The value of tan 60, we have it as 1.7320. 1.732050. 2050 equals to 95.26 meter. All right, we are looking for x. The next thing to do is to divide both sides by this, by 1.732050. Therefore, we have 1.732050 x divided by 1732050 equals to the value of this 95.26 meter divided by 1.732050. All right, at this stage, this can cancel out this. Therefore, you have the value of x, right? So let's divide 9.26 divided by 1.7320. All right, it will give us 54.998 meter. All right, so therefore we can leave our answer in what? In nearest whole number. That is 55 meter. All right, which means the length, the distance from P to F is 55 meter. That is our final answer. All right, mathematics is very simple. Let's look at another example, example 2. All right, let's look at question 2 on the board. When an aeroplane is 800 meter above the ground, its angle of elevation from a point P on the ground is 30 degrees. Talking about angle of elevation here. The question is, how far is the plane from point P by line of sight? Don't forget, the first thing we need to do is to interpret this question in form of a what? A diagram. An aeroplane, as it is an aeroplane here, is 100 meter above the ground. Above the ground, this is where your ground is. All right. So aeroplane, you can call this place A, which means you have 100 meter. That is the height of aeroplane from the ground, above the ground. All right. Its angle of elevation from point P, let's say this point P, the angle of elevation, which is what? 30 degrees. All right. So the question is, how far is the plane from the point of how far is the plane from P by the line of sight? All right, so this side has been given. Where's the line of sight? We're actually looking for this side. All right, we can call this Y, the line of sight. Line of sighting the aeroplane from this point P. All right, don't forget, the side facing the angle is our what? The opposite. This is what? Hypotenuse. And this is what? The adjacent. No, this is the right angle. So at this point now, we are looking for what? The hypotenuse side. So all we need to do is to apply trigonometry ratio. Don't forget using your SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Now look at it. The opposite side was actually given, but we are looking for what? The hypotenuse, which is Y. This side we are looking for hypotenuse. All right. So we are applying what? We are applying sine ratio. That is, applying we have sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. All right. What is our theta? The angle, which is sine 30 degrees equals to what is opposite? It will be given as 800 meter. And hypotenuse, which is Y. We represent our hypotenuse by Y. All right. At this stage, what do? We cross multiply. So at this stage, we have Y sine 30 degrees equals to 800 meter. What is the value of Y sine 30? Y times sine 30 is 0.0 0.5, all right, equals to 800 meter. So we have 0.5y equals to 800 meter. So now to get the value of y, we divide both sides by the coefficient of y. Divide both sides by 0.5. We have 0.5y divided by 0.5 equals to 800 meter divided by 0.5. All right, so 0.5 cancels 0.5. So the value of our y, let's use our calculator, 100 meter divided by 0.5. That will give us 1,600 meter. That's our final answer. Therefore, the value of hypotenuse here is what? 1,600 meter. So you can see that mathematics is very simple and sweet as bread and tea. All right, let me give you a few questions on the board so that you can also practice at home. All right, solve the following question on the board. Number 1, the angle of elevation of the top of a tree is 28 meters away from a point on the ground is 30 degrees. Find the height of the tree. Find the height of the tree. Now look at the second question. The angle of elevation of A from B is 20 degrees, if AB, length AB equals to 30 meters, how high is A above the level of B? Now, this is where we are going to stop today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you press the subscribe button if you have not done that, and like it, share with your loved ones. Mathematics is very simple and sweet as bread and tea. Bye.